Hello. Good morning, dear students. How are you all? This video lesson, module number 2 on metals and non-metals, brought you by Vignan Global Gen Schools, Hyderabad. I, myself, Venkat Reddy Peram, teaching faculty, Vignan Madinaguda. My dear students, in yesterday's module or in previous module, we have learnt about physical properties of metals and non-metals. But these physical properties are only not in a position to differentiate between metals and non-metals. We required some other properties, and these properties are called, yes, chemical properties. So, my dear students, today let us learn more information about chemical properties of metals. Okay? So, what about today's topic? Tell me. Topic 3.2. Topic 3.2 as per NCERT textbook. What is the topic name? Chemical properties of metals. Chemical properties of metals. Okay, so this is the topic meant for today. Chemical properties of metals. So, in these chemical properties, some other themes are there. How do metals react with water? What happens when metals burnt in the presence of air or oxygen? What happens when metals react with acids? What happens when metals react with salt solutions? Like that, various categories are there. But today, let us learn about only two chemical properties. Okay, what are they? What happens when metals burnt in the presence of air or oxygen? This is the first one. And the second one, what happens when metals reacts with water? So these two sub-themes we are going to learn in this module. So are you ready for the first one? What is that? Let me write here. This is the subtopic. What happens when metals burnt in air? Yes, so this is the first sub-theme which is meant for today. What happens when metals burnt in air? So before going to discuss about various chemical reactions with metals, now let me write the general equation, general representation. Any metal, most metals reacts with oxygen, because oxygen is present in air and oxygen supports combustion. So metals burnt in the presence of oxygen to produce one type of oxide. What is that? Metal oxide. Simple. Metal burns in the presence of oxygen to produce metal oxide. So these metal oxides are generally basic in nature. These metal oxides are generally basic in nature. We already might have learned this one in various chapters. Previous chapter, metal oxides are generally basic in nature. Okay. For example, let me take one example. What is that? Copper. Let me take one metal, copper, Cu. What is the symbol of copper? Cu. Copper burns in the presence of oxygen to produce copper oxide or copper to oxide. Is it balanced one or unbalanced equation? This is unbalanced. Try to balance this. 2Cu plus 2 plus O2 gives rise to 2CuO. And what is the name of this oxide? Copper 2 oxide. Okay. And what is the color of this oxide? This is black in color. So what is the color of copper 2 oxide? Black. Color of copper 2 oxide is black. Okay. Now let us take aluminum. Al plus O2. Because aluminum also metal. Metal plus oxygen, metal oxide corresponding. What is the formula? Al2O3. But this is also unbalanced. Try to balance it by taking, for suppose if you take 4 aluminum here, now put here 2. 2 into 3, 6 oxygens, 3 O2. So aluminum metal combines with oxygen or burns in the presence of oxygen to produce aluminum oxide. Okay. So this is about metal plus oxygen gives rise to metal oxide. Now let us take few oxides. So most of the metals burnt in the presence of oxygen to form corresponding metal oxides which are basic in nature. But two metals are there in this criteria. Let us take two metals. Two metal oxides. What are they? Aluminium oxide, Al2O3, and zinc oxide, ZnO. These are metal oxides, but these are not basic in nature. These metal oxides are amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric oxides. Yes, amphoteric oxides. Do you know, my dear students, what are amphoteric oxides? Those metal oxides which reacts with acids as well as bases to form salt and water are called amphoteric oxides. Now, aluminum oxide and zinc oxides are amphoteric in nature because these two oxides reacts with acids as well as reacts with bases to form corresponding products. Now, let us take aluminum oxide as one of the best example. So, example, aluminum oxide. This aluminum oxide reacts with hydrochloric acid to form corresponding chloride. What is the chloride? Aluminium chloride along with water. So, this is the reaction between aluminum oxide with hydrochloric acid. Now, this is also unbalanced. So, how to balance this one? For suppose if you take 2 here, 2Al, 2Al. How many oxygens are there? 3. But here this side only 1. So, put here 3. 3 into 2, 6H. So, put here 6. Then automatically chlorine number can balance. And the same aluminum oxide, Al2O3, reacts with sodium hydroxide base to form sodium aluminate, NaAlO2, along with water. So this is the reaction between base NaOH and aluminum oxide Al2O3. Now try to balance this equation. So here Al2 is there, put here 2. Then if you put here 2 means 2 NaOH, it becomes 2 into 2, 4, 5 oxygens are there. 3 plus 2, 5 oxygens. How many hydrogens are there? 2. 2H. So, balanced. Okay. So, like this, if you try even for zinc oxide, you will get corresponding chlorides as well as corresponding products. And now coming to, let me take sodium metal. Sodium is able to form sodium oxide, which after dissolving in water to form sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Okay. And if you take potassium oxide, K2O, this potassium oxide after dissolving water to form KOH, potassium hydroxide. So from this, we can conclude that metal oxides are basic in nature. These metal oxides dissolved in water to form corresponding bases, which are water soluble, also called alkalis. Okay. Now try to balance this equation. Na2, so 2Na, 2Na, 2O, 2O, H2. And what about this one? 2KOH, K2O, H2O. Okay. So these are the corresponding alkalis. Now, if you take the metals like sodium and potassium, these two are alkali metals. These two metals are highly reactive. Even if you kept these two metals in open atmosphere like this, they will catch the fire and cause for accidents. So we need to preserve metals like sodium and potassium in kerosene oil. We need to keep these metals in kerosene oil. Why? These are very violent in nature. If you kept in the open atmosphere, they will catch fire and cause for accidental fires. This is highly reactive. That's why we need to preserve these metals under kerosene oil. And if you take metals like iron and copper, do not burn directly. Do not burn directly in oxygen. But if you divide this iron metal or copper metal in the form of small sprinkles, iron fillings burns very rapidly if you sprinkle in fire. And if you take copper, copper is a shiny brown metal, shiny brown. But if you introduce this copper metal in flame or oxygen, it becomes black but does not burn. And that black oxide formed is copper oxide on copper articles. And if you take gold and silver, these two metals do not burn in the presence of oxygen at any temperature. These two metals, what are the two metals? Silver, copper, not at all reacts with oxygen at even high temperature. So that tells about these are very least reactive towards oxygen. Okay. So this is about how metals reacts with oxygen. What happens when metals reacts with when metals burns in the presence of air? Very simple. Metal when burns in the presence of air, nothing but oxygen, it leads to the formation of metal oxide, which is basic in nature. And these metal oxides dissolved in water to form corresponding bases, which are water soluble, also called alkalis. Metals like sodium and potassium are highly reactive. If you kept in the open atmosphere, they vigorously react with oxygen and cause for accidental fires and will catch the fire immediately. So to preserve these metals, we have to keep these metals under kerosene oil for preservation purpose. Metals like silver, gold do not react with oxygen at even high temperature. So in this module, especially first subtheme, we learnt about these things. Amphoteric oxides, aluminum and zinc oxide are generally called amphoteric oxides. What is the reason? Now, shall we move on to the next one? Next one. What is the next subtheme? Tell me anybody. What is the next subtheme? What happens when metals reacts with water? So what is the next subtheme, my dear students? What happens when metals reacts with water? Just I want to erase this part and let me write. What happens when metals reacts with reacts with water? When metals reacts with water. Yes. Let me explain this one. Same. Before going to discuss about various chemical reactions, let me explain this one by taking the general representation. When metal reacts with water, it leads to the formation of metal oxide plus hydrogen. What is that? Plus hydrogen. And that metal oxide again reacts with or dissolve in water to form metal hydroxide. So indirectly, what we are going to learn here, metal plus water gives rise to metal hydroxide plus hydrogen. So finally, shall I write that one finally? From these two equations, what we have learned, metal plus water gives rise to metal hydroxide. What is that? Metal hydroxide with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Okay. Now let me take one example to illustrate this one. Metals like sodium and potassium very vigorously reacts with water. Metals like sodium and potassium, which are very high reactive and vigorously reacts with water. And whenever these two metals reacts with water, tremendous amount of heat is released. And these are highly exothermic and very violent in nature. Now let me explain why these two metals are very violent. Sodium, when reacts with water to form corresponding sodium hydroxide along with the liberation of hydrogen. And along with this hydrogen, heat also liberated. This is highly exothermic. This liberated hydrogen gas will catch the fire and cause for blasting. So sodium metal is very, very violent in reaction with the water. Now to balance this equation, put here 2H2O and 2NaOH. In a similar manner, if you take potassium also reacts with water, cold water, very violently, and to produce potassium hydroxide along with the liberation of hydrogen gas and heat energy. This is also highly exothermic. So the liberated hydrogen gas will catch the fire and cause for blasting. So these two metals are very violent in reaction with water. Now let us move on to the next metal, calcium. When calcium reacts with cold water to produce calcium hydroxide along with hydrogen. But during this reaction, the amount of heat liberated is very small. So this reaction is less violent compared with these two. So whenever this reaction is less violent, the liberated hydrogen gas does not catch fire. So what happened in this case? This liberated hydrogen gas stick on to the metal calcium, make it lighter and floats on the surface of water. That's why calcium metal floats on the surface of water. There is a question, direct question, why calcium metal floats on the surface of water? What is the reason? The hydrogen gas which is liberated stick on to the metal surface, make it lighter and floats on the surface of water. That is the reason. Why this hydrogen gas does not catch fire? Because very less amount of hydrogen gas only liberated, as the reaction is less exothermic and less violent, but react with cold water, less violent. Now let us move on to another metal, magnesium. Magnesium do not react with cold water. Yes, but magnesium reacts with hot water only, but hot condition, to produce magnesium hydroxide, MgOH twice, along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. hydrogen gas. Now whenever this magnesium reacts with water to form magnesium hydroxide, but the liberated hydrogen gas stick on to the metal surface magnesium, make it lighter and floats on the surface of water. So both calcium and magnesium floats on the surface of water after reacting with cold water in this case and hot water in the case of magnesium. Now let us take metals like zinc, aluminium and iron do not react with either cold water nor hot water. So metals like zinc, aluminium, iron do not react with cold water as well as hot water, but they react with steam. You know steam, gaseous form of water. They react with steam to form metal oxides, but not metal hydroxides, along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Now let me take two equations in this case. For suppose if you take iron, iron symbol Fe. Iron reacts with steam. Steam means gaseous form of water, no? So G I specified here. Then Fe3O4 is obtained. What is this oxide called? Magnetic iron oxide is obtained. Magnetic iron oxide along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So once again, metal iron reacts with steam to produce metal oxide. What is that metal oxide? Magnetic iron oxide, Fe3O4, along with the liberation of hydrogen. Now after balancing this equation, 3Fe, how many oxygens are there? 4 H2O and 4 H2. So this is the balanced equation. Now in a similar manner, if you take aluminium, aluminium also reacts with steam to produce aluminium oxide, Al2O3, along with hydrogen gas in this case. Okay. Now to balance this equation, put here 2 Al, and how many oxygens are there? 3. So put here 3 H2, 3 H2. Okay na? So this is about aluminium versus steam reaction. Generally, metals like lead, copper, gold, silver do not react with cold water, hot water and steam. So these four metals, once again, lead, copper, gold, silver do not react with any form of water. Any form of water. So they are least reactive in this case. So this is about metal versus water reaction. So before going to conclude this class, let me recapitulate these points once again. Metals reacts with water to form corresponding metal hydroxide along with the liberation of hydrogen. And metals like sodium and potassium, very violent in nature. They violently react with cold water to liberate hydrogen, as these reactions are highly violent, exothermic in nature. Okay, the liberated hydrogen gas will catch the fire and cause for blasting. And in case of calcium and magnesium, calcium reacts with cold water, but the reaction is less violent. The liberated hydrogen gas does not catch the fire. In fact, this hydrogen gas liberated stick on to the calcium metal, make it lighter, floats on the surface of water. Metals like magnesium do not react with cold water, but reacts with hot water and liberate hydrogen gas along with corresponding metal hydroxide. Here also same. The liberated hydrogen gas stick on to the metal surface magnesium, make it lighter and floats on the surface of water. Metals like zinc, aluminium, iron do not react with cold water as well as hot water, but they react with steam to produce corresponding metal oxide along with the liberation of hydrogen. But metals like lead, Pb, copper, Cu, gold, Au, silver, Ag, do not react with any form of water. There seems to be very less reactive. So, my dear students, that's all for today's class. Tomorrow we shall discuss about one of the very important topic, that is what happens when metals reacts with acids, and what happens when metals reacts with salt solutions, and what is meant by reactivity series of metals. Till then, my dear students, have a nice day. Thank you.